Zatsa. The Imam of Agarwa, Ibrahim El Rashidin, has reportedly been charged with homicide in the case linked to the death of one of his nephew, Ali Yusuf. The boy died on the night of January 31 to February 1 at the Garwa's Lamidat in circumstances not yet elucidated. After the administrative authorities took up the case, demanding the exhumation of the remains, investigations are continuing and the case has been brought to justice. An alleged military raid in Tungo village in Babanki in the northwest region of the country has left one person dead and several others injured as they struggled to flee. The men in uniform are said to have stormed the village to track down separatist fighters who may be hiding amongst villagers. Let's have more with Nora Kakebi.
At least one life has been lost in an alleged military raid in Tungo village located in Babanki in the northwest region of Cameroon. According to the people of Tungo, some houses and other properties belonging to villagers were set on fire during the raid, as the alleged uniformed men said they were looking for Ambazonia separatist fighters from the village. The local population have outrightly condemned the attacks by the alleged military men and have equally criticized the separatists for not being present while the soldiers were wreaking havoc and committing atrocities in the village. It should be noted that for over 5 years now in the country, the restive regions have been a fertile ground for wanton attacks, sometimes by the separatists and at other times by the military, who desperately go in search of the separatist fighters. Lives have been lost, many families have been torn apart and divided due to the socio-political instability rocking the two English-speaking regions. Cameroonians, especially those living in the restive regions, wish for nothing more than an end to the crisis, which has plunged them into misery, hardship and despair for over 5 years now.
Love was in the air yesterday, February 14, a day celebrated as a St. Valentine's Day, characterized with different love activities manifested by couples worldwide, loved ones or even family members. The practice of writing love letters seems to be far back today. Colette Loom tried to find out from inhabitants if they still do write love letters. Let's find out.
Love is a set of emotions and behaviors characterized by intimacy, passion, and commitment. It involves care, closeness, protectiveness, attraction, affection, and trust. Love can vary in intensity and can change over time, and it can be expressed in different ways and at different times. Today, Valentine's Day, a Lover's Day, a day of romance and love, now termed in recent times, though some schools of thought have it that Valentine's Day was named after Saint Valentine, a Catholic priest who lived in Rome in the 3rd century. He was jailed, and while in prison, Valentine cared for his fellow prisoners and also his jailer's blind daughter. And legend has it that Valentine cured the girl's blindness and that his final act before being executed was write her a love message signed "From your Valentine." Then he was executed this day, 14 February in the year 270. In regards to this, do people in the nation's capital still write love letters with a pen and a paper, or they simply send love messages via WhatsApp?
The most interesting part is that you put out your own handwriting into what you want to speed out, unlike the normal SMSs and Telegram stuff. Seriously, I prefer the letter writing part because I like my handwriting to be seen. To me, it's more romantic.
To me, that's wastage of time. I prefer buying things and sending them.
First one is stylish. Nowadays, many people always like something to buy for their lovers. Anyways, there are some that they, like distant love, they always still write it. So it depends the way the love is.
I would love letter writing because letter writing, you can after some time you can still sit and view over the letter, remind yourself of the past time.
When you compare WhatsApp and letter writing, you discover that people are now forgetting even how to spell, because when you use phones, if you use simple abbreviation, but when you put writing, you think that you cannot forget how to write. and they always keep you reminding you of all the detailed words.
Should love expression in all forms be special on a day of this magnitude?
I believe that it is good to love your partner every day.
Therefore, love should be expressed every day as long as we breathe.
The 56th edition of the National Youth Day in Boya witnessed massive attendance of youths as they turned out in heavier numbers to celebrate the day after years of no celebration due to COVID-19. Catherine Ekongwe tells us more.
The celebration of the 56th edition of the National Youth Day in Boya saw a massive turnout of youths under the watchful eyes of the Governor of Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Bilai. The Chief Executive congratulated the youths of the region for their sense of patriotism.
My message today, after this great event, to the youth of this region, a message of congratulations. My word is that they should now that they have understood what is the importance of the youth. The indomitable lambs are young men. I was told that J. Clinton was school year at the Lycée Bokwango. So the youth should seize the importance of this event and realize that they too, in their various domains, can become like J. Clinton, can be like Francis Ganu, the head of state, cited yesterday in his address. I mean, the youth should continue to work hard.
The march pass was limited to secondary schools, vocational institutions, institutions of higher learning, and youth of the ruling CPDM party, who showcased their patriotism with the colorful display to emphasize their love for the nation. Going down to the officials who came out to witness the Youth Day celebration, their message to the youth is that of focus and resilience.
I think it was a glorious time that we had, and we are expecting that next year will be more glorious than this. We look very carefully, we realize that people from the basic did not really future. I think it's just a strategy. Next year we'll come with more companionry. You must know that success or victory belongs to you, and you must take it by the horns. Nobody will take any success or victory on your side. That's the plain truth about it. So I'll encourage the youth to sit up and to take, just from what the President of the Republic said, they should take the bull by the horn and take the challenges, and obviously it will become so excellent with that. Our country will be proud of it.
Being that youth are leaders of tomorrow, the governor of the Southwest region at the end of the celebration congratulated all who attended the ceremony and called on youth to be responsible and focused in keeping the Republican values. The 56th edition of the National Youth Day is celebrated under the theme Youth and Voluntary Participation in Major Challenges of Cameroon.
And road users from all the corners of Yaoundé town trekked to the center town on Youth Day following road blockages. They say the roads were blocked without pre-notice from the government. Colette Loum took keen interest on this report.
The phenomenon of road blockage during official events in the nation's capital is a cause for concern. A glaring example is the Youth Day celebration that took place over the weekend, with road from Sam blocked right to the 20th May Boulevard, blocked from a source direction, the cathedral, flying up to Mvogbi and towards the museum. Pedestrians were spotted on all aforementioned roads directions on foot, while many could not meet up with their appointment. Taxis and private cars were all stopped, and only officials' cars could be spotted plying these roads with an ambulance. The $1 million question is, why block roads from such a long distance, and that early at 8 a.m., for example, for an event that was slated to commence at 10 a.m., and at the same time, no message via the media to inform the population of such a change. It should be recalled during the AFCON matches, especially days Cameroon was playing in all stadia in the nation's capital, movements were equally perturbed, even at night from all directions, with pedestrians taken unaware, kids and parents spotted stranded. City dwellers are therefore optimistic such a situation will be ameliorated in upcoming official events.
On education, the fourth batch of students of St. Louis University Institute, Douala, were matriculated on Saturday, February 12 at the Bonaberry campus. The matriculation ceremony was presided over by the CEO of the learning institution, Dr. Nick Ngwanyam. Eileen Sama was present. Her report.
The matriculation ceremony of the 2021-2022 academic year of St. Louis University Institute, Douala, began with church service, during which the officiating priest challenged the students who make up the fourth batch of the higher learning institution to be humble, disciplined, and carry on with their studies assiduously to become job creators and not job seekers. It is worth mentioning that St. Louis University Institute, Douala, with two campuses at Bonaberry and Bonamusadi, prides itself in providing quality education for youth in Cameroon and across Africa, training students in the fields of health sciences, agriculture, production technology, ICT, among others, while partnering with other medical institutions around the world.
They're starting their career in the sense that they're still in training, right? And when they're training, we are giving them the skills and we are giving them the attitude, then we are giving them the practical work, and then we are teaching them the emotional intelligence. So just so many skills, the entrepreneurial skills, communication skills. It's a bunch of things that they get. But the bottom line is we are trying to come up with a new type of Cameroonian, not the old type of Cameroonian, because up until now we have the old type of Cameroonian. We are coming up with a new breed of Cameroonians who will be able to take this country to that thing called 2035 that the president wants. Because this breed of students that we are training, they have a completely different mindset and they have problem-solving skills, and we insist on them having a good character. Having the right attitude is the key to anything. Respecting other people is the key to anything. Having value for truth and loving others is the key to everything.
Taking the oath to become full-fledged students of the Higher Institute of Learning, the students pledged discipline, attitude, and professionalism, the motto of the school.
I promise to obey. The rules and regulations. Guiding the conduct and discipline. Of the institution. And profession.
According to these level 100 students at the School of Agriculture Production Technology, he believes that being a student at St. Louis University Institute will give him the opportunity to meet his dreams of being a job creator.
What prompted me to come to University St. Louis University of Agriculture? Actually, I was in a state of confusion when I failed my concours, and I never knew where to go. I was lost, but I really loved agriculture and I really wanted to do agriculture. When I wrote the national concours, but due to the fact that I had good relationship with some of my lecturers who were preparing us for these concours classes, who are some of the lecturers of this institution, so he directed me, he orientated me to come forward to St. Louis. That St. Louis is a good place, you can still be trained with St. Louis. So I was encouraged and I came up here.
Thus, 2 or 3 years, St. Louis University Institute Douala will give birth to over 6,000 job creators ready for the highly competitive job market across the world.
Antonio Conceição will remain as Cameroon national team coach despite rumors of his dismissal. The Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Assis Mwelekombi, made the revelation on national TV on February 13. The Portuguese tactician took charge of Cameroon national team in 2019. He has seen 14 victories, 8 draws, and 2 losses. And out of the country, tensions remained high yesterday in South Africa as parents and students gathered outside a school in Johannesburg to denounce alleged acts of racism committed at the school. The protest took place after a fight broke out between two groups of students last Friday. The incident was allegedly triggered when a white student used a derogatory term against a black student. Police had to resort to water cannons to disperse the crowds. Reports say representatives from political parties and law enforcement officers were equally present during the protest. The school has, however, released a statement to deplore the incident and announced that investigations are already underway. French troops will remain mobilized in the Sahel region, but no longer in Mali. The announcement was made on Monday, February 14, by Jean-Yves Le Drian, French foreign minister, after a virtual meeting with European counterparts. The leaders discussed their country's future as they fight Islamist insurgents in West Africa. Mounting tensions between the French and Malian authorities triggered what French President Macron called a need for significant changes in his country's military presence. Le Drian deemed conditions were no longer met for French forces to continue fighting in Mali, but he insisted France would stand alongside other Sahelian nations. We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime Flash, produced by Junior Pelama. Thanks for watching, faithful viewers. You have more stories in our 3:30 p.m. Prime Info with Gladys Bomotongina and our 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinter. Coming up next is In the House with Eileen Sama and her ladies. Have a nice time.